been such an amazing adventure and really pleasure to be involved with this festival that was inaugurated in San Francisco and was brought here to Seattle by the great mind of Anita Manga with Eddie Muller, and we've been doing it for, is this our seventh year?
7 years.
7 years. So we've actually been operating a cinema year-round for 7 years, and Noir has been part of every single year, and we hope to keep bringing it back for many more years. So I don't need to say anything else about Eddie Muller other than he is an expert on film noir. He's a film aficionado, and he's very entertaining. Please welcome Eddie Muller. Oh. You get to see him here first, but in June he is actually going to be on Turner Classic Movies Friday nights all month long in June. So anyways, is that
great? The light's over there. Okay, very good. Thanks. It's nice to be here again. And thank you. This is what happens when you get a big crowd. You run a little late. You got to be a little bit patient. So I appreciate your patience. And thanks very much to SIF for the nice little gala, the black carpet tonight, and the little photo thing. That was terrific. Those of you, I saw so many familiar faces tonight in the lobby and here in the theater that I appreciate. It's like old home week. It's nice to be back. It's nice to see you all again. It's also nice to see new faces that we have not seen before. So I hope the loyalists and the veterans in the crowd will grant me a moment to explain to you who may be coming to these festivals for the first time that what Noir City is. As Carl said, it was inaugurated in San Francisco, but it is one of the few film festivals in the world where all of the proceeds from the festival are returned to finding and restoring lost or at-risk films. The films may be lost, they may be out of circulation, the prints may be deteriorated to a point where they can no longer be screened, and the Film Noir Foundation is dedicated to finding and preserving those films and putting them back in circulation. The evidence of our work is on the screen tonight, because the film that you are about to see, Try and Get Me, was originally released under the title The Sound of Fury in December of 1950. At the height of the witch hunt, the anti-communist witch hunt, which had a great deal to do with its misfortunes in the marketplace. It was an independently produced film, and many of the films that we have to find and restore through the Film Noir Foundation were independently produced films. They become what we call orphan films because they do not have the protection of a big motion picture studio to put them in a vault and properly preserve them. A man named Robert Stillman produced this film independently, and it was released originally by United Artists, and several of the people who were involved in the production of this film became tainted by their association at one point or another with the Communist Party, and by the time this film was released, there was enough of a taint against them, principally the director of the film, a man named Cyril Enfield, that there was sort of a hands-off on this film. Once you see it, you will understand that even though to someone watching the film today, it might not seem like a particularly un-American film, at the time it was released, when there was so much anti-communist hysteria sweeping the land, the film makes a statement about mob thought that at the time had a certain, was perceived to have a certain anti-American tone to it, and the film did not fare well at the box office at all. Stillman pulled it from release, retitled it Try and Get Me, thinking that they would sell it less as a highbrow social commentary picture, which is what The Sound of Fury sounded like. It was pulled from every major market in America and retitled Try and Get Me, except, I'm proud to say, in San Francisco, where the film continued to play under the title The Sound of Fury for several months. it really is an exceptional film. It was based on a true incident that happened in 1933 in San Jose, California. I will not describe the details of the incident because it would be spoiling the plot and the outcome of the film. But for those of us in that area, it's a somewhat notorious, legendarily notorious incident in local and California history that formed the basis of this film. There's another earlier film also based on the same incident that I won't name because you may have seen that film, and even that would be spoiling what you will see in the movie tonight. Cy Enfield, the director of the film, well, you know what? He also directed the second film we're showing tonight, Hell Drivers. So this is sort of a tribute to Cy Enfield, who is a very, very talented man that is long overdue for reassessment as a filmmaker. He very much was in the same boat as men like Joseph Losey and Jules Dassin and John Barry, who were American-born filmmakers who, because of the witch hunt, ended up moving overseas and finishing out their careers in Europe. Enfield, I mean, his name is Cyril Enfield, right? He sounds British, like Joseph Losey sounds British, but he was from Scranton, Pennsylvania. Cy Enfield from Scranton, Pennsylvania. And had a very, very interesting background that I'll tell you about before the second film. But this is really an exceptional movie. It's a picture that I have shown before at a couple of Noir City festivals through the courtesy of Martin Scorsese, who is the only person who had a copy of this film in 35 millimeter that we knew of. And Scorsese twice loaned his personal print to me to show in Los Angeles and once in San Francisco. And he was kind enough to loan us that print as part of the work on this restoration. There was a nitrate print of the film deposited at UCLA many years ago when the Republic Library, Republic Pictures, eventually owned the rights, the re-release rights to this movie. Republic was bought by Paramount Pictures, and Paramount got rid of all of their nitrate film. And fortunately, an original nitrate print of this film was in the archive at UCLA, and it became apparent that that film was starting to deteriorate to a dangerous point, and we decided, you know, it's time to actually restore this movie. So there are a great many people that deserve thanks for their hard work in getting this up on the screen. I want to thank Alexander Payne, director and writer Alexander Payne, who was a big champion of this film. He was introduced to it at a screening in Los Angeles. He saw it again, courtesy of Mr. Scorsese. He did some nice work on our behalf to get some fundraising done for the film, and I want to thank the folks at Paramount and, of course, our colleagues at the UCLA Film and Television Archive. The project was started by a wonderful woman named Nancy Mizell, who has been the project manager for our previous restorations of The Prowler and Cry Danger. I'm very saddened to say that Nancy passed away from cancer this past June, and her family has become very dedicated and active participants in the foundation in terms of donating money to the foundation and helping us ensure that there will be film preservationists like Nancy in the future. So I am greatly indebted to the Mizell family for their help. And everybody at UCLA who made sure that this restoration would live up to Nancy's exacting standards. That's it. I'm done with the intro. I'm happy to be back in Seattle. You are about to see what I consider to be one of the most powerful films made in the original Noir era. And I'm just really, really thrilled that the Film Noir Foundation has been able to resurrect this movie. I will show this at the Turner Classic Movies Festival in Los Angeles in April. We're hoping that eventually it will get on TCM in a screening at some point, but you guys are in the forefront here of the revival of this exceptional film. So you are in for a really bleak and depressing night. Enjoy!